Hey Who fans, and welcome to the Big Blue Box podcast. My name's Gary and this is episode 383. I hope you're keeping well and safe and that you've all managed to do something Doctor Who related. As always, welcome to another episode. This is a short one this week. We're on a bit of a hiatus still, so it's not like a full episode like you would expect, where Adam and I waffle about all the things Doctor Who. I wasn't even going to do an episode, to be honest with you, until the round table, which drops next week. But there have been some cool news stories that have dropped over the last week or so that I thought was worth mentioning. So those of you that are kind of busy Who fans and you're sort of doing life in general, you haven't had time to dig into all the news articles and socials and RSS feeds and all that stuff, I'm going to round out some cool things that have been announced or are coming soon from either the BBC or, whatever. But in the meantime, as I said, I hope you are keeping well and safe. We've been talking a lot on the socials recently and in our Discord server. So although the weekly podcast episodes that you're used to are not rocking and rolling every week until Adam gets back to good old Blighty at some point next month, you can still chat to us over there. We're on X or Twitter. You can find us there. It's just do a search for the Big Blue Box podcast, or do a direct search. It's Big Blue Box PCast. You'll find us on there. We chat plenty on there, and we also chat lots on our free Discord server. So if you want to hang out with a very cool community of Who fans, it's a bunch of really nice people. A constant chat about what's coming up with Doctor Who and people's collections and their opinions on certain episodes and music and Sarah Jane and Torchwood, all that stuff. It's all talked about on there. So go and check that out. You can find a link to that on our website, which is bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. And while you're there, you can also check out all the articles and reviews and event roundups and everything from our cool writing team. So go and check that out and chat Doctor Who with us as we ramp up to the celebrations for the 60th and the specials launch and etc. You can do that with us over there, like I said, until the regular episodes drop, which will be coming soon. So the first story is, you've probably all seen this one. This is most of the classic Doctor Who catalogue now coming to BBC iPlayer, which is very cool. We mentioned this, Adam and I mentioned this ages ago. Before he went back to the US and we were recording regularly, we said that Russell T Davies had dropped this comment in an interview. I think it was shortly after Shooty was announced, and they were doing the media rounds, all the rest of it, and I'm sure he dropped a comment to say, not that everything was coming to iPlayer, but he just said he feels that all of Doctor Who should be on iPlayer. That should be the home of Doctor Who. And I remember Adam and I saying at the time, that's probably going to happen. Somebody like Russell, is probably going to make this happen. And fast forward to now, and here we are, which is very cool. So this is obviously to mark, I think this was going to come to iPlayer anyway, but it's just a nice bit of timing to get this into November. So on the 1st of November, to mark the 60th anniversary, over 800 episodes of the series and its spin-offs will be available on iPlayer. So that's all of the classic stuff, the reboot stuff. Say reboot, naughty. all of the newer Doctor Who from 2005, should I say, is going to be on there, and as it says, the spin-offs, which are already on there, I believe. So I think Torchwood's already on there, Sarah Jane's on there, and now we're getting all this stuff. There is a bit of controversy with one of the stories, which we'll get onto in a second, but everything else is on there. So Russell T has gone on record to say, "I'd like to thank the BBC for all the hard work to get this massive back catalogue under one roof at long last. I'm so excited for new viewers. Imagine being 8 years old, spending winter afternoons exploring the 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond. And we're determined this won't be a dusty museum. We have exciting plans to bring the back catalogue to life, with much more to be revealed." And then we have a quote as well from Dan McGulpin, is a director of iPlayer and channels. And he said, "Doctor Who has captivated countless millions of viewers on the BBC for 60 years, and in celebration of this special moment, we are bringing classic series to BBC iPlayer for the first time. Fans will be able to enjoy many of the Doctor's earliest adventures with William Hartnell, right through to the very latest series and the soon-to-be released and tremendously exciting new anniversary specials with David Tennant. We want everyone to be able to enjoy this breathtaking back catalogue, so we are making each episode on iPlayer as accessible as possible, with subtitles, audio description and sign language, all available for the first time, which is very cool. I think that was what Russell was alluding to earlier about bringing the catalogue to life a little bit and some of those things. So yeah, this is going to be very cool. There's not much to say on it really. Those of you that have subscribed to something like BritBox over the last couple of years, now moving over to ITVX, you can still watch all of Classic Who on there. There's no problem with licenses or anything like that. But now you'll be able to, if you don't subscribe to those things and you want to catch up with all of that stuff, then you can do that. A bit more details on this. So as this launches on BBC, they'll also put online an extensive online archive to accompany this stuff. So that's going to have interviews on there with the cast. It's going to have written documents. It's going to have unheard audio snippets and behind the scenes photos, and together that will sort of create the whole bundle, if you like, for the 60th anniversary in terms of archive stuff. So all the archive in terms of Classic Who on iPlayer, and then all of this stuff on the website. So the new archive will allow fans to dive a little bit deeper. So it's going to have curated journeys such as the genesis of Doctor Who, where audio from former head of drama Sidney Newman, alongside documents with his original handwritten notes that will guide you through the origins of the show back in the day, etc. And just a bunch of interviews, audio, new pieces of audio, etc. And then they're going to, and over time, so this isn't going to be there for launch, but over time, they're going to add even more content to the archive, which is going to have special collection photos, which have been rescanned at 8K resolution. And there's going to be a total of 25,000 print negatives, slides, and digital images, all are going to be on there, which sounds very cool. So yeah, that's going to launch on the 1st of November, just before David Tennant launches onto iPlayer with the specials. Now, there is a bit of controversy with this, just a little bit. And that is the very first story, An Unearthly Child is not going to be included, sadly, when this launches on 1st of November. The reason for that is because the people that own the rights to that particular story essentially got a bit of a to and fro with the BBC at the minute. So for those of you that don't know, the BBC do not own the rights outright to all of the back catalogue of classic Doctor Who. There are some stories that, due to character and actor licenses or alien and creature licenses, someone like Terry Nation with the Daleks, etc., are not owned solely by the BBC yet. So it's not just as straightforward as the BBC scooping up all the episodes, whacking them on iPlayer and everybody to enjoy. There's a little bit more legal red tape and to-ing and throwing to go through for all of that stuff. So fast forward to now, they want to get everything on iPlayer, but there's something going on with, I think it's the Anthony Coburn estate and whoever owns that now, I think it's his son, and is just not happy with some of the conditions and the offer that have been put through from the BBC. So they did put out a wee little statement about this. So a spokesperson said that their quote is, "This massive iPlayer back catalogue will be home to over 800 hours of Doctor Who content, making it the biggest ever collection of Doctor Who programming in one place, but will not include the first 4 episodes, as we do not have all the rights to those." And that's important to distinguish there, because it says we don't own all the rights. So what that basically means is, obviously the BBC owns the right to the show as a whole and all of the intellectual property within that. So the character, most of the character licenses, the music, the logo, all of that stuff. But there's just certain things that they don't hold the rights to. And so the very first story, which was written by Anthony Coburn, I'm sure it's his son. I could be wrong with that. I'm sure it's his son or his nephew or somebody in his family who does own the rights to that. Apparently there was an offer that was put through to them from the BBC that was rejected. So they're still going through that. Chances are this will be resolved at some point in the future. I'm not sure exactly when, because it's not like this has not been put on online anywhere at all before. So as we know, as I mentioned earlier, you can watch An Unearthly Child right now on BritBox and ITVX. So it's not like they're averse to having this online at all. There's just some kind of we problem. It seems like a little bit personal to me, and so it looks like that. It feels like there's a little bit of beef going on between the BBC or Bad Wolf Studios, whoever's running this. I imagine it's just the BBC, but it feels like there's a little bit of beef going on there between these two, and hopefully that will get sorted out rather quickly. So there's been a lot of chat about this in a lot of Doctor Who forums and Facebook groups and all the rest of it, and just don't pay too much attention to that stuff, because I think what typically tends to happen with that is there's a lot of Chinese whispers, and you don't really get the full picture, as it were. So Steph Anthony Coburn, who's the guy that does own the rights, he has gone publicly to say that, so it seems it's the BBC who don't give a damn about the fans relative to the exorbitant sums they pay to their celebs, quote unquote. The sum I quoted was not reasonable. They just informed me by email that they will not be including the tribe of Gum in their iPlayer list. And then a load of people have replied and whatnot. There's a deal that needs to be worked out with those guys. We'll keep you posted on that stuff. But at the moment, everything's going to be on iPlayer, Sans, and Unearthly Child. But we'll keep you up to date on that. But the rest of it is very cool news. Next up is a very cool book that's about to launch. So the guys over at 10 Acre Films, they have a very cool library of books that they produced over the last few years, which looks very cool. And they've got a new one that's going to land soon, and you can pre-order it now. It's called Adventures in Type and Space, and it's a celebration of classic Who, Doctor Who title sequences. Now, anyone that's chatted to Adam and I in the past about this subject, and we have spoken about this a little bit, either at events or down the pub, whatever. It's quite a big subject, the whole title sequences for Doctor Who. Some of them fans love, others fans don't really like. Some are indifferent. It's a really cool subject. So I'm over the moon for this book, because this is right up our alley, and it's got a foreword by Mark Gatiss as well, which is kind of cool. So in December, a charity bookazine exploring the title sequences of Doctor Who will be released from 10 Acre Films. Highlights include in-depth interviews with Bernard Lodge, who was the title designer between the very first episode from 1963 up until 1979. Then Peter Govey, who was the special cameraman in the 70s, Gareth Edwards, who was a titles animator between 87 and 89, along with contributions from Sid Sutton, who was another title designer from the mid-80s, and the family of Oliver Elms, another title designer from the late 80s. And it's got illustrations throughout with rare and unseen imagery. And it's just a celebration of the artistry and all the stuff that went into creating those really cool title sequences. All the proceeds will go to UNICEF, Bernard Lodge's chosen charity, and the format is it's 124 pages, full colour, 21 by 21 centimetres. So it's got that really nice coffee table kind of feel to it. All pre-orders will be entered into a prize draw to win a one-of-a-kind print of the Diamond logo, taken from the original metal block master that was used to create the actual TV graphic, personally printed and signed by Bernard Lodge. That's freaking cool. That is very cool. I'll stick a link to the show notes in this. You can see the book, you can see the print with the signing from Bernard as well. And this will cost you $12.99, which is a really reasonable price, actually. A lot of books that we talk about when we do our merch sections, usually, we're typically talking sort of pushing on 20 odd pounds or 20 odd dollars. So this is really cool. So I'll stick a link. It looks very cool. I'll definitely be picking this one up. And we'll do a review of it on the either on the website or on the podcast, but it looks very, very cool. So go and do that. Next up, we have the final story, which is a little collaboration between the BBC, Doctor Who, and Toshiba TV, of all people. So they've got together to mark, again, the 60th anniversary. There's loads going on, as you would expect from the 60th. And they're going to be doing a live interactive Q&A featuring some of the experts and creative minds who have shaped the show into what it is today. So, Toshiba TV are giving a few lucky Doctor Who fans the experience of a lifetime. That's quite the claim. I must say, they're going to give fans the experience of a lifetime to win tickets to attend an in-person event showcasing the iconic props and costumes from the series alongside a special screening. The partnership is part of Toshiba TV's Seeing is Believing campaign, which aims to bring incredible visuals into viewers' homes. So, as a bit of blurb on this, get ready to travel through space and time as BBC Studios and Toshiba TV pair up to mark the 60th anniversary. It will transport lucky fans to the universe of Doctor Who. Live stream viewers and lucky attendees will enjoy a Q&A panel session with some of the experts and the creative minds. This will be on Twitch on the 9th of December. At a top secret location in London, apparently, and it's also available on the Doctor Who's official YouTube channel. There's also a microsite which goes through this, so you can enter to get your tickets. If you want to enter the competition to go to the live screening in person, you can do that. Again, I'll stick a link in the show notes to this, and then a little bit more on this from Bart Kuchtin, I hope I'm saying that right, who is the commercial director at Toshiba TV, says, "We are thrilled to be partnering with BBC Studios on this Doctor Who 60th anniversary special activity to provide fans with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Lucky attendees will have the chance to view a treasure trove of iconic props and costumes, with viewers at home able to hear from the experts and join in the celebration." And then Sarah Bold, who's head of marketing at Global Brands at BBC Studios, she says, "This highly anticipated new Doctor Who special promises to deliver all the excitement and wonder that fans have come to expect from the long-running cultural phenomenon. As the longest-running sci-fi in television history, Doctor Who continues to push boundaries and inspire a generation of viewers, and this event is a glorious celebration of the brand's iconic heritage and exciting future." So there we go. Doctor Who Beyond the Screen in association with Toshiba TV. It sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. They don't give too much away in terms of who's going to be on the Q&A panel or what you're going to be able to actually see. You have to remember that this does sound very cool, but also a part of it is a little bit of a sales pitch for Toshiba's TV technology. So their quantum dot stuff and their Onkyo sound technology and all that stuff that's built into their new range of TVs. It's a little bit of a sales pitch for that as well. So just bear that in mind. But it does sound like there is going to be some cool Doctor Who stuffs going on with that. So again, if we've already entered to try and get tickets. If we end up going, we'll give you a cool rundown of what happens. But otherwise, if not, as they say, it'll be on Twitch, and it will also be on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. And then just lastly, to finish off, we've got a couple of dates to put in your diaries. We've now got some stuff that Russell has teased in a recent interview. So the 1st of November, put that in your diary. We know what that one is. That's all of the most of the classic library on iPlayer. That's when that's going to launch. We also have the 17th of November. Had to do a bit of digging for that one. So Doc Haunt over on our Discord server. Thank you very much for throwing this one in there. This is the date for this year's Children in Need. So that's probably going to... You don't need to be a genius to work out. That's probably going to be a new sketch, which Doctor Who has done a lot over the years at BBC Children in Need. So that's probably that one. And then on the 23rd of November, that's an obvious one for the diary, but we don't know exactly what's been planned for that exact date yet. But we know that the 23rd of November is the official date in which the very first episode went out. So that's the anniversary date. We're not sure on what's going to happen, but Russell says that's a date to keep in your diary. So we'll keep you up to date on that one. And then some other dates that have been thrown around, which are likely to be the dates that the specials are going to be broadcast, is going to be November the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. So those are all Saturdays throughout November, which makes sense for Doctor Who, those three specials to go out on those dates there. But again, we'll keep you. That's not been confirmed, by the way. Don't take that as read. That's not been confirmed by Russell or the BBC or anybody. But that's just what has been kicking around and is likely to go down. So, yeah. So we'll keep you updated on that stuff. Anyway, that's all we have for you in terms of news, etc. for this one. Like I said, it's only a short ep just to keep you in the loop about what's going on. But we're gonna wrap there for episode 393. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Big Blue Box podcast. That was episode 383. I tell you, it feels awesome to be back behind the mic talking about Doctor Who and getting excited and stuff for the specials and whatnot. It's just adding to all the hype for those new episodes dropping and the anniversary in general and everything. It's just exciting times to be into Doctor Who. I love it. It's very cool. So make sure you join us in our hype and excitement in a few ways. You can do that on the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There are links on the website, which is a Big Blue Box podcast.co.uk. You can link off to there, give us a like and a follow as we chat Doctor Who each and every week. And there's a lot of chat on our Discord server as well, which is a free server. Again, there's a link on the website. Hop in there and chat Doctor Who with a really cool bunch of Who fans, all talking about the 60th and the specials, posting their theories and new snippets and a bunch of other stuff, so get involved over there as well. Also make sure you are following or subscribing to this podcast in your preferred podcast app. Just do a search for us, or if you're listening to us already, give us a like or a follow. That way you won't miss an episode when it lands semi-regularly at the minute until we're back properly in November. And we also have our monthly roundtable episodes where we just grab the whole writing team and we sit down and we discuss a theme to do with Doctor Who and just end up waffling and having a laugh about all things Doctor Who, so you won't miss those either. While you're on the website, by the way, make sure you check out all the reviews and the articles from our awesome writing team. Those guys put out some great content regularly, so check that out as well. Until the next episode, my name's Gary, and remember,